Floyd Mayweather, once boasting career earnings of over $1.2 billion, is now reportedly facing financial ruin, according to shocking new CNN reports. Despite flaunting luxury jets, sprawling mansions, and million-dollar watches, insiders claim Mayweather's reckless spending, failed business ventures, and mounting legal fees have taken a massive toll. Sources say the boxing legend is quietly liquidating assets to cover debts, while others allege a looming bankruptcy filing may be imminent.
Everything ends up this way. Well, everything does end up this way because people are surrounded by other people who make 10%, 20%, 5% on what the other guy brings home. So people are incentivized to push people to keep scaling and keep going and all eat when you eat. But I think it's very important for people to stand up and say, you know what? I don't think this thing needs to be that big. I don't think the valuation needs to get here.
Once at the pinnacle of sports wealth, Mayweather reportedly amassed between $1.20 and $2 billion through prize fights, endorsements, and personal appearances. But just as fast as the money came in, it disappeared. Instead of safeguarding his wealth, Mayweather embraced a lifestyle of relentless extravagance. From gold-plated jets to fleets of supercars, his obsession with being the richest and flashiest figure in sports ultimately overrode any sense of financial responsibility, pushing him toward the brink of collapse.
He's up there, bro. He's probably got to be at least 400 million. I mean, some of the purses from his fights are like 100 million each fight.
I would think
shit.
Close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like he probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry. Have you seen like videos of his jewelry?
Yeah, some crazy. Let me see. Let me see what his net worth is. Mayweather net worth.
Them Googles be lying though. Huh?
They be lying. You think?
I think so. It's probably not accurate. I mean,
let's see what they say. Exactly what you said. It says an estimated $450 million.
Yeah.
Richest boxer in the world. It's a lot of money.
Mayweather grabbed headlines not only for his undefeated record, but also for the eye-watering paydays. His bout with Manny Pacquiao earned him over $250 million, and his fight with Conor McGregor brought in similar figures. Constantly hailed as the world's highest-paid athlete, Mayweather used his income as fuel for luxury. Massive parties, jets for his entourage, and million-dollar gambling sprees became his norm.
Floyd Mayweather, the highest paid athlete, not the highest paid boxer, the highest paid athlete in the world. I had the opportunity and pleasure to be around him for many years. I was his personal shopper. I was a personal friend of his family. One of my greatest memories of being just lucky enough to even be around that environment was watching him train. Watching Floyd Mayweather train is a masterclass in discipline. It is a masterclass in work ethic. It is a masterclass in this is how you execute and get stuff done. Every rep, he hits it hard. There's not one lazy rep. He does everything at such a high frequency, so elevated. I'm like, goodness gracious, watching this man train, it's like, that's how I want to train for life. I've been to the club with Floyd where we leave in the club 3, 4 in the morning and he's still going to hit his 6 miles. He'll have all the cars follow him and he's running down the Las Vegas Strip, down back streets.
His financial woes go beyond reckless spending. Mayweather's name has surfaced in numerous legal disputes, including a 2022 class action lawsuit linked to a cryptocurrency scheme many labeled a pump and dump. Although dismissed, it raised concerns about his judgment. Things worsened in 2024 when he was sued for allegedly ordering his bodyguard to assault a man, with the victim seeking over $3 million in damages. These cases highlight a dangerous pattern of volatile and poorly judged financial decisions.
How do you explain all that? How did that happen in your life?
Well, things happen. I had 3 children with a young lady. We wasn't seeing eye to eye. We wasn't seeing eye to eye. She was a little upset, had a little alcohol in her system. She was a little edgy, and I told her, basically I needed the keys to my truck. She was upset. She didn't want me to take the keys to the truck. So things got out of hand and blown out of, they blow things up bigger than what things are really made out to be. So things happen.
But nevertheless, you had to do 2 months, right?
Yeah, I did 2 months for a misdemeanor, yes.
So what is it like to have everything and then not have freedom?
That's what I come to find out. Freedom is very important. Freedom is very, very important. And I'm just, I'm happy to be free. I'm happy to be back. you know, in my children's life.
Joe Rogan, known for his unfiltered commentary, publicly criticized Mayweather for neglecting tax obligations. Rogan warned that even the wealthiest individuals can fall if they ignore the IRS, citing the risk of serious legal consequences. He suggested that Mayweather's extravagant lifestyle could be hiding a far more fragile financial reality.
He owed that money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to
it's
pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money. There's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You can sell those.
Mayweather seems to be echoing the financial downfall of Mike Tyson, who earned hundreds of millions before declaring bankruptcy due to wild spending. Tyson owned exotic animals, mansions, and even a gold bathtub. Similarly, Mayweather flaunted high-end cars, jewelry, and properties, but insiders suggest his finances may be just as unstable behind the scenes.
It's your main man, Made Man, back at it again, and y'all know how I get down over here. We talking boxing. Now, I am fresh off watching episode 1 of the All Access of the upcoming fight between Floyd Money Mayweather and Marcos Maidana. Now, a lot of people may have gotten a lot of things from watching that episode. You know, it was real flamboyant. We seen Floyd Mayweather tossing his money around as always, talking about the Miss Jackson situation. We seen Marcos Maidana looking focused, more so focused on his baby and everything. So those are a lot of the minor takeaways. But my major takeaway from this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, is I was quickly hit with a emotion of nostalgia, you know what I mean? Because seeing Floyd Mayweather with all this money and cars and clothes and hoes and yada yada yada, it just kind of reminded me. There was a small segment in that episode that stated that a lot of fighters believe in their immortality, you know what I mean? We've seen this before. So the question I ask, we have seen this movie before. Boxers traditionally going broke. You know, they start off well, so flamboyant with all this money and all these cars, and they have businesses they invest in. They're something special, you know, at least in their minds they are. And then after either retirement or near retirement or after the fight game has left them, traditionally boxers go broke, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not saying this is going to happen to Floyd Mayweather, but I swear on everything, man, I hope it doesn't happen to Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather is going to go down in the halls of history, ladies and gentlemen, as possibly top 3 to top 5 to top 10 of all-time greats. I mean, depending on how you view Floyd Money Mayweather. But however, he is definitely the #1 boxer of my era, ladies and gentlemen, of my time on this earth of watching the sport of boxing. No one has the skill set of Floyd Money Mayweather. Carve it up, chop it up how you like. Get on the debate about his opponents, all this other crap. We can have that for another video. But this man is going to go down in history as an all-time great without a doubt. And I understand the argument for those who may even present the argument that he's the #1 greatest of all time. I see valid points in that argument. I don't agree with that, but I see valid points in that argument. This is a great boxer. We are going to miss Floyd Money Mayweather when he leaves the sport, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact remains.
Ironically, Mayweather has often spoken about smart money strategies, claiming to follow a buy low, sell high approach to real estate. However, his actions paint a different picture. While his discipline and brilliance in the boxing ring are undeniable, they haven't translated to financial wisdom. His focus inside the ropes is a stark contrast to his impulsiveness outside of them.
People hate consistency when it comes to teams that you don't like and not a fan of, and they constantly win all the time. The Patriots went through the same thing. Small example. I'm going to just take boxing, for instance.
Right.
Floyd.
Yes.
Everybody loved when Floyd was winning early in his career.
Yes.
But when he kept winning,
yes,
he became the villain.
Yes.
And then everybody paying in and tuning in to see him lose. Right. That's it. Yes. He became
Mayweather's transformation from fan favorite to villain is a familiar story in sports. As with dominant teams like the Patriots, fans eventually root for giants to fall. His own uncle, Jeff Mayweather, has commented on this shift and questioned Floyd's financial decisions, suggesting that his behavior has become increasingly erratic.
Like I said, I don't necessarily see Floyd very much.
so we don't really get a chance to talk very much. And so I don't really know what's going on. I know he's doing things that, to better his life, like, buying homes and buying, different things. And so, I mean, I don't know exactly what he's doing. So, I mean, I haven't seen him in quite some time. And I haven't heard about him talking about doing any more exhibitions. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, I don't know. But I haven't heard anything.
I know the KSI's team would be happy to make the fight with him.
In a candid interview, Jeff Mayweather admitted he no longer understands Floyd's unpredictable actions, particularly his chaotic investment choices. Floyd appears to leap into business ventures without a clear plan, driven more by ego than logic. Real estate professionals have expressed skepticism about his claims, especially given how risky his property investments appear.
You guys all seen the headline saying Mayweather needs money, Mayweather has problems, Mayweather needs Conor McGregor. Well, the truth couldn't be further. Let me tell you, Floyd Mayweather just posted this on his Instagram, and I know it's true because anyone who was around Floyd Mayweather back after the Pacquiao fight in 2015 saw Mayweather with the $26 million paycheck for the IRS. And this is what Floyd writes on his Instagram. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, especially when it comes to the media in this country. While everyone is counting my money and assuming the worst, these are the facts. Uncle Sam received $26 million from me in 2015. What else could they possibly want? I'm sure I would have been notified much sooner if there were any real discrepancies, right? Bottom line, everybody just wants to be part of the Money May show, including the IRS. That's fine. You can crunch numbers all day, but in the end, my empire is rock solid and intact. Now calculate that. Hashtag TMT, hashtag Floyd Mayweather, hashtag TBE.
One of the biggest red flags is Mayweather's history with the IRS. Federal authorities reportedly urge him to sell off assets to cover unpaid taxes. Ignoring such advice is considered financial suicide. As the IRS starts seizing assets, it reveals deep-rooted mismanagement and a failure to address looming obligations.
To them by showing on Instagram $26 million, a payment he made to the IRS. By the way, nothing makes your tax payment look shadier than when you're just holding up cash.
Right.
That's not a good look for the IRS. But he showed his actual, 26 million.
They just pay him. Like, I don't know why, like, he's mad at the media. It's like, oh, you guys are making things up. No, it's leaked that you asked to pay after this fight. Like, you make all this money. If I was Mayweather, not only would I pay them on time, the IRS, I'd tip them. I'd be like, hey, here's what I owe you. Here's a little bit. Get your woman something nice, all right? How was Christmas for your kids? Oh, you're Jewish? Convert just for this Christmas. Here, take care.
Eventually, Mayweather publicly stated that he had paid $26 million to the IRS. But rather than quelling rumors, the announcement raised more questions. Was that the full amount? Was it too little, too late? Critics believe the statement was more about public relations than real transparency. 12. Despite these issues, Mayweather recently claimed to have invested $42 million of his own money to buy 62 buildings in Manhattan. He emphasized that he did this without outside partners. However, given his other financial struggles, critics doubt the validity of this claim. The timing and scale seem exaggerated.
Within $2 million. This substantial investment was made through his real estate firm, Vada Properties, and is intended to expand his portfolio in New York City real estate market. Mayweather has expressed that this purchase holds significant personal meaning, reflecting his humble beginnings and desire to provide affordable housing options. He stated, growing up, I used to dream about owning just one home by myself. When you work hard, you can achieve anything. However, it's important to note that while Mayweather has announced this acquisition, some reports suggest that property records do not yet confirm a transfer of ownership. Experts speculate that he may have acquired a minority stake with options for future expansion.
Far from reassuring anyone, the real estate claim has only fueled skepticism. If true, it signals dangerous overreach. Mayweather's obsession with material wealth is likely his most damaging trait. Each flashy purchase, whether a luxury car, diamond watch, or gold chain, only deepens his financial instability, month after month. Insiders say he spends more than he earns.
Floyd Mayweather is about to pay $2 billion to purchase a sports team and may never have to pay taxes again. The tax code offers these super wealthy so many methods to erase their income through deductions, and none is better than purchasing a sports team. Buying a sports team is like buying a unicorn real estate property. The value is always going to go up, the owner is going to make money, but on their tax return, they're going to use a strategy to report that they're losing money. See, the owner is actually allowed to write off the entire cost of the sports team against future income. This will allow Floyd to pay less in taxes. It's called amortization, which is very similar to depreciation. But if Floyd ever decides to sell the team, then the taxes will be owed. Who cares then? Because the taxes he was supposed to pay during those years, he's going to take that money, reinvest it for personal profit. See you, Floyd. Hit your boy up if you need help with taxes. My name is Duke, and I make taxes very easy to understand. Give me a follow to stay educated.
Nothing highlights Mayweather's craving for spectacle more than his recent trip to Mexico in an armored tank. While most wealthy travelers opt for private jets or SUVs, Mayweather chose absurdity. These stunts may earn him viral attention, but they also showcase a troubling disconnect from financial reality.
I need you guys to watch me talk about my watches. Right here, I got 3 cases, and they're all full of watches. So when I travel, I like to take, if I'm going for 45 days, I like to take 45 watches with me. I like to have options. So everybody's always asking me, what's your favorite watch? Well, one of my favorite watch brands is Avi & Co. As you can see right here, I got this a few months back, and it's one of my favorite watches. One of the best brands in the world. That's just my personal opinion. I like the brand so much, I went and bought another watch just yesterday, Avi & Co. As you can see, Avi & Co. Now, let's talk about watches, let's talk about jewelry, let's talk about a few things. I need you guys to watch me talk about my watches. So we'll set this to the side. Now, we want to give the people an appetizer or something light. So we give you 2 appetizers, then we give you a main course. Just a few watches that I got while I travel. So check this out. We're gonna go here first. And of course, the company is Avi & Co. Crazy company. Now, I need you guys to come closer and check this out. So let me come to you guys.
In business, Mayweather's reputation mirrors his spending habits, chaotic and impulsive. His ventures often prioritize short-term gains over ethical practices or strategic planning. From shady cryptocurrency schemes to failed promotional deals, his portfolio is riddled with bad decisions. Without a major course correction, Mayweather risks being remembered not just as a boxing legend, but as a billionaire who lost it all.
Yeah. I think it was like a $5 or $8 million 5-fight deal or something like that. You have to check the numbers, but he turned that down to start his own promotion. And when he was with HBO, he worked out that deal to do the 24/7, where you can see the behind the scenes. That was right around the time when reality TV was getting big. So you didn't have social media then. People began to build and know Floyd off of the 24/7. I can tell you right now, my wife even became a boxing fan from watching the 24/7s. So the timing of him becoming his own boss, which you're gonna make the majority.
That concludes today's report. Stay tuned for more updates.